Now, I'm delighted to be here in Kappa in County Limerick with my very good friend and colleague and a very well-known man right across the country and abroad in the United States of America as well, is Billy Maguire. And Billy, over the last 2 years since I've got to know him, has educated me and many, many people through his passion and love of Ireland, of its people, of its past, present, and its future. And people have said it to me time and time again, we need to hear more of Billy Maguire. And I'm delighted that we're here with him today. Billy, it's great to be with you.
Well, thank you very much, John, for your very kind words.
No, Billy, they're meant. They're very sincere.
I know they are. But listen, this is the 2021 is what we're commemorating.
Yes.
And that was the Free State, really, you know. It is 202 years since 21st of January 1919. And that's very important for us, you know.
Yes.
Those people, they survived, and that's what they did. And it was very difficult to survive. But they did, John, and I'm going to ask you to read the proclamation, please.
Yes.
That is the key for our, state, is our proclamation, and its sovereignty, the sovereignty of God and the sovereignty of mankind. And we'll have probably a little bit of discussion at the end of it.
Yes.
About what happened over that 1918 32 county election. That's crucial.
It is actually, Billy, because I'll tell you why. People that have come back to me have said they were never told in school about 1918.
No.
They were never told about the All-Ireland election, called then by the British government.
That's it. The 14th of December 1918.
They never heard of it.
And the 28th of December 1918, the IRB Sinn Féin won. And they won on the 28th of December.
Yes.
73 seats out of 105. I mean, that's a huge majority.
It is a majority, a massive majority.
And that's a democratically elected sovereign government. And we have been disallowed that. And I think it's shocking. And I also think it is horrible to think that the Crown of England, in the times, was King George V in those days.
Yes.
And he wouldn't recognise the sovereign All-Ireland government by the will and wish of all the people. Yes. Although it was democratically elected and everything was done correctly, they did it themselves. We won that fair and straight.
Yes.
You know, and it's very wrong. And the conflict, John, between the Sovereign Republic of Eire and Britain is that 1918 32 county election. You know, that is a scandal. There's no other country would tolerate that. And we've had to put up with that for over 100 years, and I think it's very wrong. And when the peace, reconciliation and prosperity process was started by Lord Harrington and a few others, and if you take that in those days you had, a lot of people were wondering, what do we, the Irish, have to do? What do we have to do?
Yes.
You know, we won our election fair and straight, and yet we weren't allowed to have a sovereign government. You know, and that's not right. And I think that is the conflict between Ireland and Britain, as we said. And the peace, reconciliation and prosperity process was founded by Pope Pius XII in 1950, when he brought my father and mother out. He wanted no violence. He wanted just to have a university.
Yes.
And it would be discussed there, and it would be put together, and no violence, no bombs, no guns, nothing.
Yes.
And I think that was a very important move that he made. And anyway, that's where it is at that stage. We're still asking the Crown of England, when she came here on her state visit,
yes,
we were sure that she would say, well, the Sovereign Republic of Eire has a sovereign Dáil Éireann government? No.
No.
Even at that stage, no. It's shocking to think of it, that we have been deprived of that all these years. And, we have the largest territory in Europe. And we also have, great people. And I think it's time now that the Queen came out. I'm going to write to her anyway.
Good
and
man.
ask her
Yes.
to please recognise our sovereign Dáil Éireann government
Yes.
by the will and wish of all the people in the 1918 32 county election on the 14th of December 1918, ratified on the 28th of December 1918, and on the 21st of January, which we're commemorating today, that was crucial that we had that. And, I'm very disappointed with the Crown of England that she didn't do it. You'd think that her next door neighbour, that she would give some little bit to them. After all, they got so much out of here over the years. They spent it on
Well, I'll tell you something. When we look back on the annals of the Irish famine, and we see the exports of massive amounts of homemade grown food, and men and women, children, dying on the hedgerows.
Dying.
It's one of the things, Billy,
Well, you think they'd have a
that
heart?
really upsets me when I see it.
Wouldn't they have a heart? Wouldn't you think they'd have a heart?
Yeah,
And say,
but
"Look,
sure.
these are our neighbours."
Let's bring it to this point. Let's bring it to the 21st century. A fishing boat went out to Rockall just after the agreement made with Europe and Great Britain, and they were stopped fishing and boarded by a British official boat, if you want to call it an army boat, and told that they can't fish there. That was British territory. So it is like Billy in many ways. I'm not a historian, I'm only an ordinary layman, but the way I look at it is, it's like history now is starting to repeat itself.
It is. Unfortunately, John, you're correct on that. And I think it's very sad. After all we've been through, it's the same old story with Britain all the time.
Yes.
And we won that election fair and square.
Yes, we did.
And
yes.
They should...
it wasn't recognised. The amount of people... the amount of people that have actually stated to me they never heard of 1918 election, an All-Ireland election, never heard of it being called by Great Britain. No. And the results are there.
But we would ask the Queen to do the right thing.
Yes.
And to recognise our sovereign Dáil Éireann government by the will and wish of all the people in the night. Democratically elected, John.
Yes.
And that's what we should
do. It was democracy. Even by, as they say in this constitution, by an alien government. It was democratic, the election of 1918. But unfortunately, nothing was followed on. It was paper pushing. That's all it was.
John, you have to read the proclamation, or I get off this.
No, please do. No, stay there. You're the man of the moment. You're the man of the moment, Billy. But I just want to, visualise the tricolour, which is just right behind you there, because that is actually what the men and women died for.
That's it.
The Irish Volunteers, the Citizen Army, the IRB, all of the various...
And another thing, John, pretty interesting.
Yes.
When that came in with Francis Marr, Tom Prince Marr, it was orange, white and green.
Yes.
And they changed it, the Irish Republican Brotherhood changed it to green, white and orange.
There's a fact that very few people know it, including me.
But isn't it awful? But anyway.
But there again.
I wish they would teach history.
But you see, this is what people are saying to me as a result of your interviews. They are saying, but why didn't we hear about this properly? Because my answer is, and when I was going to school, I was taught by the Christian Brothers, God help me, and, that it was always sort of out of a book. It wasn't real. It wasn't explained or taught properly. Now it should be.
It should be.
Because we're part of the European Union.
Yeah.
Britain have gone out of the Union. America, we don't know what's going to happen. Mm. So we need to know our identity and the history behind it, Billy.
And John, another important point of all this is, that they'll have to do something.
Yes.
they can't just leave it go like that and not bother.
No.
You know,
No.
It's too much at stake, and we've too much. And
Yes.
we've the largest territory in Europe. And I mean, I go back to those old monks and friars where we were.
That's
down
right,
in
in the
that
Franciscan
Sweden.
friary.
You,
Yes.
you know,
Mhm.
who had all that knowledge
Yes.
to go abroad to build their ship and to take Celtic Christianity worldwide, and that's what they did. And they were great people to do it.
They
like
were
did.
marvellous people. Yeah, great missionaries. So, Billy, we're going to read the proclamation
Yes.
in this in this week of very
Well, we
nostalgic and emotional
That's
and
it.
historical commemoration.
That's it. That's it. It's very important. that
Very
we-
important.
to commemorate
It is.
what those misfortunes went out and did.
Oh, yes. Now, the proclamation of Poblacht na hÉireann, the provisional government of the Irish Republic to the people of Ireland. Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood, Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. Having organised and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary organisation, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organisations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizen Army, having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes that moment, and supported by her exiled children in America and by the gallant allies in Europe, but relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland, and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies to be sovereign and indefeasible. The long usurpation of that right by a foreign people and government has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished, except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their right to national freedom and to arms. Standing on that fundamental right and again asserting in its arms the fate of the world, we hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign, independent state. And we pledge our lives and the lives of our comrades in arms to the cause of its freedom, of its welfare, and of its exaltation among the nations. The Irish Republic is entitled to, and hereby claims, the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities to all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of a whole nation and of all its parts, cherishing all the children of the nation equally, and oblivious of the differences carefully festered by an alien government, which have divided a minority from the majority in the past. Until our arms have brought the opportune comment or moment for the establishment of a permanent national government, representative of the whole people of Ireland and elected by the suffrages of all her men and women, the provisional government hereby reconstituted will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for its people. We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessing we invoke upon our arms, and we pray that no one who serves that cause will dishonour it by cowardice, inhumanity, and raping. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valour and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called. This was signed and read in 1916 from the GPO by P.H. Pearse. Thomas Clarke are the signatories. Sean McDermott, P.H. Pearse, James Connolly, Tomas MacDonagh, Eamon Cant, Joseph Plunkett. And from all of us in the Irish nation, from Billy Maguire and the Irish Republican Brotherhood, may they all rest in peace. And every man, woman and child in this country in the 21st century should salute them.
Well,
That's it,
thank
Billy.
you very much, John. You did it very well.
But you know what, Billy, struck me when I was reading that? When these great men and women put the Constitution, put the proclamation, one thing that struck me: equal rights, civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunity to all its children, and declares in its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation and of all its parts. Very important. Cherishing all the children of the nation equally.
Very important, John.
And oblivious of the difference carefully fostered by an alien government. Well, my comment to that, Billy, is very simple. Today, in January, is the publication of a 5-year detailed report about the Mother and Babies Home. Where, in the name of God, were these women and these children fostered equally by the church and state? An absolute disgrace. And that's me personally speaking. I think we should be ashamed of ourselves.
I think you're right, John.
That's my own personal comment, Billy.
Right, we have others to do as well, John.
Yes, Billy, that's fine.
We won't get off that easily.
No. But it's a great opportunity, Billy. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with you very shortly with part 2. Gorda Mila Mogget.